The labor movement comes to Detroit, and there's great aspirations. Henry Ford opened up the plant with the idea that if hiring 20% of the labor force African Americans, that he would have a way of keeping the union from organizing because he had various other ethnic groups working, thinking they couldn't communicate. It's out of the fight and the struggle where there was a recognition that the union movement was not affording African Americans their just dues. General worked in the hottest place of a fire furnace. If you watch his hands, they have burns on them. It's out of this context of labor and the movement and the exploitation that General rises up to give voice to the voiceless in terms of having the ability to articulate, to the ability to study, to lead people in a wildcat strike, 3,000 leaving the point of production, shutting down massive plants, calling reverberations of other plants in this country. This was a fearless warrior in the tradition of our Nat Turners, our Gabriel Crossers, in the tradition of those who were we don't have upon us a revolutionary in the spirit of Jesus the Christ, whose hair was like wool and feet like grass, who fought and turned over the vile wine glasses as they were attempting to have merchants selling in the temples. General was that voice, that fearless voice in the early stage of this world when he recognized, speaking truth to power. I'm encouraging you to read. General talked to the U.S. government and said, I dare you call me to serve in your army and your war. Your hands still dripping of the blood in Angola and South Africa. How dare you call me and ask me, am I qualified? This is a historic piece. This is a historic stand. A stand that preceded Muhammad Ali and anyone else, but he was doing it on the principle of liberation. I cannot continue to talk. I could talk for hours and hours about the strength of General Baker and the League of the Revolutionary Black Worker. I do want to put it in context. The General emerged in 1941, a time when there was that first People's March on Washington by Philip Randolph, a time when the world was at World War I. At age of 2 and 43 in Detroit, we had the greatest race riot when 34 was murdered. Thousands, hundreds are wounded on a Belle Isle-related rumor incident. Now, who is General Baker? General Baker is a loving man. He's a family man. He's a man who loved. In 1925, you have all these great people coming. Malcolm X, 1925. Robert Franklin Williams, 1925. Patrice Lumumba, 1925. Frantz Fanon. All these, God sent these people among us to lead us. I want to share just a moment with you out of respect for your time. It's difficult to try to condense the life of General Baker on this podium. But I want to tell you a personal issue. General is me. He's in me. General is represented my father's line. I'm very close to General. I do the Malcolm X Day at the Charles Wright, and on the 17th, I decided, I was picking some brothers up who were speaking, Sundiati Chow Joao and Zach Kondo were speaking at the Charles Wright, and I said, they're at St. Regis. I said, you're very close to the Henry Ford. I need to stop by and see my cousin. And they were very elated to come with me, knowing who he was, but never had the opportunity of speaking with them. So, as we entered the room, I asked General if it was okay. He said, sure. And I put my phone next to his head, and we started to talk. What you will hear later is an amazing conversation. in terms of crystal clear analysis, crystal clear response to what happened in the flow of history and his interaction with so many people. I'm talking too long. One last thing. As General was leaving this world, he demonstrated so much strength. He said during his last breaths that I've always said that no one person was so significant in the continuum of history. But when one of our warriors falls, we need to close rank and advance the struggle.
Before we continue asking the children of General Baker to speak, Jimmy said